looks like I have no legs.
Okay. What's going on, VCYA? Hey, we're back with another Chit-Chat. And tonight, it is nighttime. But for this episode, it's a little something special, just because it's me and my lovely wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to be chatting. We're going to be hanging. We're not going to make it long because we want to hang out.
Yeah.
We also want to sleep. Put Nico to bed. He was, he's frustrating and cute.
He is frustrating and cute.
At the same time.
Yeah.
But I think that's just children. Now that I've met parents and I can
relate with them.
I can level with parenthood. So, yeah. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about love and marriage and our relationship and all things us.
Yeah.
All things us. So yeah, how about you? You've never been on Chit-Chat?
No.
This is your first time?
This is my first time in my own home.
Your own home. We're at our house. If you are watching, and you've been here before, then you knew that. Because you know this couch with its many Nico stains. Our blank wall back here. And then we have a hole in our ceiling.
Yeah, we call it the hoo hole.
We call it the hoo hole because it just reminds me of something of a shape that is in Dr. Seuss books. It's like literally right above the cameras because our master shower is leaking. But that's all a part of what we're talking about tonight is just marriage and life and all things that come with that. But I just want you to kind of, just because we're having a conversation, it's just me and you, that people are going to be able to listen to. So we got to be good, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be good. But how about you just kind of tell a little bit about yourself for people who don't know you, the backstory of Jahni
Cruz.
Denise, formerly Gonzalez Diaz, but now Cruz.
Now Cruz.
Yes.
Almost 4 years ago.
Almost 4 years ago. So tell a little bit about yourself. Give us like a quick 2 or 3 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Puerto Rico. Grew up there, moved here when I was 14 to Lakeland, Florida. Attended Lake Gibson for a little bit. If you're from the area, you know where that is. And then I graduated from Victory Christian Academy.
The Storm.
In fact, the Storm. Then I went to Wilkes State for a little bit. Then went to Southeastern for a little bit. So I kind of been all over Lakeland.
All over the place. You're a Lakelander now.
I am a Lakelander. But yeah, I got married when I was 21. To you.
Amen.
Amen. We hung out and got married.
We hung out and got married. That was the story.
No, I think part of my story is that I kind of started coming to VCYA and then I was like, oh, I like him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, we should hang out. And so from there it escalated to dating and then marriage.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit also part of me. I don't know. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in ministerial leadership.
Such a leader.
Yeah.
You're such a leader in ministry.
Yeah.
You really are. Truly are.
Thank you.
I was being a little bit facetious. So I was just like copying you, but then I was like, no, that's not a joke. You really are a leader in ministry, but continue.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I believe in you.
Yeah, that's it. There's something you want to add?
No, I think, it's kind of a peek behind the curtain tonight, maybe for people who would even care to listen to this episode, right? Yeah. To, know a little bit about how we came to be. True. And then our journey up until this point. I mean, we have been married for just over 3 years. Yeah. Almost 3.5 years now. Yeah. It's crazy. and we have a 2-year-old now, which is very sad.
He just
and
turned 2.
Just turned 2. He is a celebrity in his own right.
Yeah.
And then we're about to have another little guy, and that is insane. Just the concept of having another child.
Coming soon.
Yeah, in April.
Yeah.
April 20th, 4/20.
Yeah, we gotta paint some rooms.
We got to paint some rooms. And that's Easter Sunday. So we're super excited about that. But I think more than anything, it's like kind of letting people know what it was like for us to even begin on this journey. I think we need to start there.
Ooh.
I think we need to start like way back, 2019, 2020.
COVID.
We met. We began to go on dates. Kindled a relationship.
Yeah.
It turned into a burning flame, right? All of that stuff, flame of love. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. Like
my perspective.
No, we can just talk about both of our
Oh, okay.
perspectives. We can just go at it. Let's just go to war right now.
Should I start or should you start?
I'll start it.
Okay.
Because I'll tee you up right now.
Nice.
I feel like I'm good at teeing you up.
Sure.
Maybe that's just my perspective. No, I was new to full-time ministry in 2019 at Victory Church, and young adult pastor and single, and just I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to make it. Single in ministry and all that stuff. And so, I mean, obviously, like I had a desire to be married at some point, but it wasn't like I was necessarily looking, but I was like, the desire was there.
Yeah, you definitely weren't.
Huh?
So you definitely weren't.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't, but
Yeah.
we can get to that.
Yeah.
But I hadn't dated anybody from 18 to, at that point, 23. I turned 23 in 2019, and I hadn't dated anybody at all. And then, obviously, I mean, young adults, they're all my peers. There's girls there, single girls there, so it's like the pool of people to date is there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The demographic of people, and the kind of person that I technically would be looking for would be somebody who's a Christian, like going to church, maybe wants to be in ministry, and all this stuff, right? And so it was definitely there, but I was just still like I was very cautious to even express any emotion toward anyone. But it's not like there was anyone that I had ever expressed anything to, so it wasn't like that. But I was like, I already had caution. If there was anything in the future, I was like, man, this is not like, I'm not just a college student anymore. Like now I'm a pastor at a church.
Yeah,
and so
it was definitely.
it's different. And so, but along comes this young, beautiful Puerto Rican girl.
You barely understood.
Huh?
You barely understood.
I barely understood. My first memory with my wife is sitting in a small group the summer of 2019, and I asked a question, and she answered, and all I heard was, me, 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 me.
No.
That's all I heard. And I was like, yes, amen, so good. I had no idea what she said. And so, but after that, she was not just there because of me. Like you weren't just there because of me, but she was consistent and really just one of my faithful volunteers. But beautiful, obviously. But it wasn't even about that. But she definitely began to show interest. I could tell. I was like,
I hope so.
I mean, I'm not a dummy on that end. I was like, okay, yeah, this is not just like her really gung ho about ministry right now. Like she definitely has an interest, and you know, I think it was really because I hadn't dated anyone in so long. I was like, I don't even know what to do. Like, do I just think she's beautiful, or how do I like and I was trying to juggle the title,
Yeah.
I think, the position, and
You do it too.
trying to figure out, like, hold on, I'm just trying to make sure we don't talk for 2 hours right now. Okay. We're going to be done in 30 minutes.
Okay.
For sure. But I always say that I played hard to get for 8 months. Because she would text me like, hey, do you need any help? And like, it's like, of course, always. And like, help at church.
Yeah.
hey, do you need help at church? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then like, slowly but surely, she started like planting seeds of like,
Just trying to
like,
get your attention.
yeah, she was trying to get my attention. And then,
Yeah.
but what was that like? We can talk about like the culmination of that later, but like, what was that like, that season like for you
For me,
going through all that? Because for me, I was just kind of chilling.
yeah.
Like, I had no inner turmoil.
And also, it was such like a.
It was a long time ago. You were young, too.
I was very young.
Yeah. Don't say very young. You were young.
Yeah.
She was 19.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm young now. I think that's why I'm saying I'm very young.
She's 24 now, guys.
No. Yeah, I'm young now, so I'm just like thinking like I was,
You were younger then,
I was
for
younger.
sure.
Yeah,
So was I. So
exactly.
was I. This all sounds so bad on my end. I was so young. He just manipulated me. And golly, dude.
No, that's not what I meant.
Okay.
But I was starting school, like it was sophomore year of college. I was getting into like, I had previous to that, I had like 2 jobs. I had been like not really having a community around me. Like it was just me and the people from the hair salon that I used to work at, and then I also worked at a dance studio. So like all my community was like 40-year-olds, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so when I realized that I had no community, I was like, I need to plug myself in somewhere with people that are my age. And at the time I was going to Polk State, and if you know Polk State, you kind of just go in and go out. That's just kind of the mentality there, instead of like having that community mindset, almost like at Southeastern. So I was just like, I need people. So it was just different stages for me. So once I did that and got plugged in and everything, and I just like noticed this guy that I was like, oh,
He was very handsome.
he was nice and handsome, spoke well, and I was just
Hello.
like, yeah, and I was just like interested, and then I kind of had to like, like not carry myself. What's the word I'm looking for? I was trying to like not go full on like fangirl, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to like keep myself.
You definitely did. Like you, like
Distanced.
yeah. You didn't feel like, it didn't feel like you were like goo goo gaga and over me, like
No.
whatsoever.
And
And that's not you anyways.
True.
That's not your personality.
So that was like one of the things I was trying to be like cautious as well as of myself and my feelings.
So I was being cautious on one end, and you were also being cautious in your own way on another end.
Still like, and I still also knew that you were being cautious. I don't know, in my 20-year-old mind, I was just like, okay, he's probably.
But I will say this though, because if you know Jahni, then you know this about her. You have incredible discernment about
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And like, we can tell the story about Starbucks later.
Yeah.
But it showed in that moment too, about like, just like your approach in the whole situation. Like, honestly, what I think really intrigued me more about you was that you really liked me. Well, I thought you really liked me, but I couldn't really tell, because you were just like, put the ball in my court and just kind of left it.
Yeah. I felt like that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was just like, at some point, I'm okay without you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like at that moment in my life, not now. I'm like,
Not anymore.
I mean,
Not anymore, guys.
but I'm
She
like,
couldn't do this without me anymore, guys.
But at that point of my life, I was
She'd be
just
lost
like,
without me, guys.
stop. I was just like, oh, it'd be, sweet to start a relationship with this guy, but it's not like I am.
It was a
not.
trap.
I'm not gonna be okay.
It was a total trap. Help me. I'm just playing.
No, it was good for me either way, so I felt like that's why I didn't
No.
continue to push. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No. Okay. And we'll just go. Long story short, it
Yeah.
wasn't like we really had no relational interactions at all
No.
up until, dude, like no conversations about feelings for each other or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even remember anything at all. Zero like intimate conversations until January of 2020.
Yeah.
You were also a youth leader
Yeah.
because you were getting involved in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
You came to our youth retreat as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
and we sat on the way back together
Yeah.
for 3 hours.
Randomly. It
Randomly.
wasn't, like, planned.
No, it was not planned. It was like literally by chance. I was the
Yeah.
last person on the bus. There was a seat beside Johnny, and I sat in it. But I could have sat elsewhere. And so the decision in my mind was, I was like, I know this girl kind of likes me, but she honestly didn't give me the time of day because you were done.
I was done. I tried. I was like, there's no more I can do.
She had tried, and she was giving up on me in that moment. And then the Spirit just moved in my heart and was like, Matt, you must sit beside this girl. And no, but I was just like, man, maybe I should just sit beside her. Like, this feels like a good idea just to talk to her.
Yeah.
And so we just sat and we talked. She had her headphones in, and I started to talk to her, and we ended up talking for 3 hours. But you were also not very talkative with me. Like,
I was not.
up until
Then?
that point.
Oh, no. No. I
But-
think it was just like,
Your butterflies.
yeah.
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 So I was just too cool, guys. Nah, but she was a little nervous, but I kind of was a little bit, just to like
Thank you.
crack open that can of like,
To start something.
yeah, or just to try to be delicate at least.
Yeah.
But it was very like just get to know you conversation for 3 hours, and then after that we talked about just going on a date.
Yeah.
Was that?
I think it was the same day.
We talked about like maybe hanging out,
Yeah.
or then we started texting,
Yes.
kind of just like friendly texting.
Yeah.
And then we had a prayer night at church, man. The church is where you should find your spouse.
Church is the place.
And then we talked in the parking lot, and we were like, let's go on a date.
Yeah.
And January 17th, see, I remember, 2020, we went on a date. We went to the movies. We went to Olive Garden. I had some gift cards. Took her to Olive Garden on some gift cards, and she was fasting. It's very spiritual. And it was great. We talked, and we just got to hang out. And
Yeah.
she also trapped me because I was trying to keep it so low key, bro.
Sorry.
And I was like, we should just meet somewhere and hang out.
That's not how I roll.
That's not how Johnny rolls, and I respect that now because if we have a daughter, I'm not gonna let some dude be like, hey, come meet me somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, bro, you're not doing that to my daughter. And so I respect that because I wasn't trying to like do you that way, but I was like,
Yeah.
she was like, no, you need to come pick me up. Like, I'm not gonna come meet you somewhere. Like, that's not how this is gonna happen. And so I came with flowers.
Yeah.
I came
good
with
job.
stuff and picked her up. And when I walked into, she was still living at home. When I walked into her house, the whole family
Okay,
was sitting.
but like this is like my first date kind of thing. Like,
but the whole family was sitting in the
Yeah.
living room, guys. And so I was like, dang, she really got me on this one. I was like, I thought I was just picking her up. Like, she got me. And so, anyways,
family tradition.
but after that, we just hung out a lot.
Yeah.
Really got to know each other, and
COVID.
yeah, well, and then we can lead it up to that. Like, we can lead up to going into, man, this is just our dating relationship story. I don't know how this turned into this, but it just is now.
I think
It's good.
Yeah.
It's helpful because there's going to be
you get to know us.
there's gonna be some
too,
stuff
like-
in here that's gonna be good. I think
Yeah.
maybe not.
Maybe it's just a story.
Maybe it's just a story. Maybe this means nothing to anyone except for me and you. Hopefully this is recording right now. This would be crazy if there's cameras sitting on books in here. But I think we got to date and we were very low key about our dating relationship,
Yeah, but also
which was good.
it was low key. It was good. But what I'm saying is, our dating relationship was unique because you were Pastor Matt.
Yeah.
You know, and like.
But you respected that.
I did.
You respected that heavily, and I think just our boundaries too, of like we didn't text all day.
No.
Like, dude, we still don't text.
No.
And if you text people all day, if that's your thing, go for it. But I genuinely think, I think there are very good boundaries around communication and conversation to say, man, we don't need to talk to each other 24/7.
No, I think for me it's also like a level of trust too.
Level of trust, and it's like we're also we have lives
Yeah.
that we're living outside of our relationship.
Yeah.
Like even as a married couple, like I have a job I have to do. You're not at my job.
I have
Right?
one right here.
You're right here.
Yeah.
And you have responsibilities as well. Like you have a job to do here.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't just sit there and if you're texting me all day, you're not doing the stuff that you need to do. If I'm texting you all day, I'm not doing the stuff I need to do.
Yeah.
And it's like when I come home, then it's like, oh, damn, now I can tell you about my day in person. Like we do that all the time. Like you'll call me or FaceTime me. I'm like, I'll just tell you about it later when I see you.
Yeah.
Because I would rather tell you about it in person.
Yeah. Sit right here.
Some stuff, it's like if there's something exciting, like, yeah, I'm going to call you. Or if there's something like frustrating, I'm going to call you. Or if it's just like an update, like, hey, what are we doing for dinner? Or like, hey, this, or.
Start business calls.
But I also check in with you. Like we do text during the day.
Yeah,
guys.
it's not like we're like.
It's not like I'm not like, don't text me when I leave this house. Like I'm not that guy. But like genuinely, our relationship is like, sometimes we won't say a word to each other
The whole day.
the whole day. It's different now with Nico.
True.
I'll FaceTime and be like, where's the little guy at? Just make sure he's living and breathing. Not because I don't think you can keep him alive, but because I know how crazy he can be.
He can be crazy.
But yeah, I think it's just like, but even then it's like, that's for a couple minutes and it's just like, all right, see ya, love you,
Yeah.
bye. But I think our dating relationship started that way
Yeah.
and it's continued that way. And it just gave me a freedom to be like, oh man, like I actually really want to spend time with this person because she's not down my throat. I'm not down her throat.
Yeah.
Like we have space to breathe.
Yeah.
Dude, give each other space to breathe.
For sure.
If you're dating somebody, give each other space to breathe. To be, especially if you're young adults.
Yeah.
If you're young, you're trying to find out like who you're becoming and who God has called you to be, and you're trying to walk in your purpose, and you're trying to
You need
like
that separation
balance
a little bit.
your mental health and your stress levels, and you're trying to balance other relationships, and it's like, dude, do all of those things. Like have space to be you as well.
Yeah.
Like have space to be yourself. And so important. But our dating relationship led right into COVID. And really, like we became official the first week of March of 2020. And then like a week later, the world shut down.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy.
and that really, it pushed us into a unique space because like we couldn't go on dates necessarily, but I really just came over to
My house.
her family's home and hung out with her parents and her sisters and family, and I was there all the time.
You would eat dinner at 10 o'clock.
I'd eat dinner at 10 o'clock, dude. I was like, holy cow, when are we going to eat food right now? I'm starving. But it was really, really nice to just like have this connection to.
Well, the time too. I mean, like you necessarily, you're always so busy. I
Oh,
felt like in the
dude.
beginning,
Dude.
like, and then COVID kind of gave you the time to date, which is kind of crazy, but that it worked out that way. But
Yeah, there's multiple things that I was really worried about too, and we've talked about this.
yeah,
But it was like balancing people's perspectives on our relationship, people's
expectations of the relationship, or
expectations, and then just people's, like, I guess just comment. Not that I really care what people think, but just like fielding people's comments and fielding people's say, and just just the talk. And I was just like, that was what I was just like dreading the most, was like for you and for me. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to put her through this, I don't want to put myself through this, or just like oh look, this is Matt and like, and we didn't experience any of that, because by the time anyone was really around us as a dating couple, we'd been together for 8 months.
yeah,
Like,
That's
we
true.
from January to really like August was when everything picked back up, and
Yeah.
so that's when we really had to like face
yeah.
the public together, and it was like, dude,
It's like we posted for my birthday and like
yeah, we did the whole post thing,
Yeah.
which like, we're going through a whole transformation of our lives on, like, we don't even know if we want to be on social media anymore
I know.
as we make a podcast, but it's like,
yeah,
this is just for content. Like I listen to podcasts all the time, so I guess that's different. But
yeah,
but like, just the way that our relationship was formed over time was so good for us.
I think it was too.
But I think it's achievable even outside of like COVID. Like, and I think a lot of that is social media. It's the voices that, not to say that people's voices don't matter, but it's like some stuff, it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, but there's also like outside pressure.
And it
too.
shouldn't, outside pressure. Like, some of that stuff,
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't have to feel the pressure that you feel. Some of it is not even real. It's
True.
Most of it is not even real pressure.
True.
And so, like, you don't have to experience that. You can stay true to who you are. And then we both really vetted each other, like, I feel like, in our dating relationship.
Yeah,
And we came into our relationship knowing exactly what we wanted.
yeah, what we were looking for too. I think one of the things in our relationship that surprised me the most was just like our compatibility and like values. Like, we never really fought
Yeah.
about our moral values. Like, we were
Yeah.
like, this is what we believe. This is, like, we think the same way about family. We think the same way about others. Like,
Yeah.
those things kind of matched
Yeah.
really good. And so for me, it made me feel a lot more comfortable moving on in our relationship, of like trusting you and trusting, like, that we would continue on. Because I was just like, oh, we don't have to fight over this. We don't have to like talk
Yeah.
about this. I don't know, that gave me a lot of peace and a lot of like, this is something we can continue,
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely surprising that,
Yes.
like, and I know not everybody is this way, because we have friends that are
Yeah.
married and they're not similar in the way that they,
Grew up or
in their personality. Well, like, we're very similar even in personality, but I guess like values are one of those things, especially like in the church, man.
yeah.
Like, I don't, I mean, we're still young in our marriage, and I'm young, but I just have an opinion that you have to marry someone, you have to be equally yoked with someone
Definitely.
in your value system.
Yeah.
Like, what do you prioritize and what does that person prioritize? Because my family is important to me. My brothers are important to me. My parents are important to me. I have a great relationship with them,
Yeah.
and I will continue to do that. But if you didn't prioritize family and you were like, I have other things that I put above that, that would have been very difficult.
Yeah, but even like you come home and sometimes, and you asked me this the other day, you like FaceTime your mom and FaceTime your dad,
Oh,
and
yeah.
FaceTime your brothers, and I'm like, and you were like, well, does this bother you? And I was like, no, because you're talking to your family, like,
Right.
And for me, that was like, I value that. You
Yeah.
value that as well. And so
Yeah.
that doesn't become like a rift between our relationship, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's valuable
Mm-hmm.
as it is to you.
Mm-hmm.
When I feel like maybe, in another scenario, if family weren't valuable to me, then I probably would have a problem with, maybe the time that you spend on FaceTime. I know it kind of sounds bad, but it is true. Where you place your value is where I'm like, oh, yeah.
For sure.
That's okay.
For sure. Yeah, if family wasn't important to you, you definitely would have a problem with me.
Yeah.
Like hour phone calls with my brother.
Yeah.
Like hour and a half phone calls with my parents sometimes. And it, like, I know that could sound heartless, but I guarantee you there's somebody out there that's like, that's just not a priority to them. Not saying that's good or bad, but it's like, that would be an issue if it's like they have other priorities, like, hey, no, we need to do this together. But finding someone who's compatible in the values is so important, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like, they're like the big stuff, the big mountains to climb. We climbed them very easily together, and like there was very little that we really didn't argue in our dating relationship, because I don't understand how people argue in their dating relationships. But that's just me. Like, bro, if you're arguing all the time and y'all are dating, what do you think is going to be when you get married, bro?
Yeah.
Like that's going to amplify whatever that thing is. And I'm not saying there's not some stuff that you can work through, but somebody's got to lay something down. And so we didn't really argue in our dating relationship because it was good. We're just dating. We're not married. There's no strings
Yeah.
attached in that way.
Yeah.
And then we got engaged and we got married, and we argue. Like,
No, we do.
we argue because that's what marriage does to
Yeah,
you. Like, you're
yeah.
becoming one person.
Yeah.
And, we talked a little bit about this with some young adults the other day, but like as a man, I have to die to myself a lot.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I love that. So good. Love it. But it's just like the pride of life and just stress of life. And then you add a child into the equation, and then everything becomes a lot more stressful and a lot more great. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Everything's
good.
great. Everything's great. Like, but like life is stressful. You can say that life is stressful. Like, it's not all just like picking roses and daisies, and doesn't all look like what you see on Instagram all the time. And people try to show real stuff on Instagram, and it's still like, camera's rolling, bro. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, when the cameras go off, it's just you. Like, so, but I think there's, at the end of the day, we can both look at each other and we still have the same priorities.
True.
And so, and we know each other.
Yeah.
And getting to know each other, still getting to know each other,
Yeah. 'Cause we
still
change.
still working through just life. And we're about to add another child into the mix, which is going to be a whole nother hill
Yeah.
to climb and a whole nother journey in itself. And we're excited about that. But yeah,
You mentioned Starbucks earlier, but you never really.
I bypassed that.
You
You want to talk
bypassed-
about it?
I don't know. We don't have to.
So a little
I
bit of
just
Johnny's
mentioned it.
discernment early in our dating, but not officially dating relationship. So we had gone on dates for like 2 months, just getting to know each other and really kindling a relationship. And I think that's so important, bro. Like, we were not physically intimate with each other. I didn't even hold her hand, like nothing, because I was like, she's beautiful. We don't even need to cross that line, guys. And so I was like, that is not what I'm after here. I'm not after to know how beautiful she is. Like, that's very obvious to me. But it was more so, who is she? And obviously, like, as I got to know her, I was like, dang, she's even more beautiful than I thought, because she's beautiful all the way around.
That's sweet.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wrote that down, by the way. Just kidding. But What if these cameras were not rolling? That's what I just keep thinking about. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I'm not checking.
Okay.
If they're not on, they're not on. But it's like we got to this point where Jahni expected me to take this thing to the next phase, which it was like, hey, we need to be official. Like, you're not calling me your girlfriend. And I was
It
still
like continues, like, just to like get my perspective, it had been like multiple dates. Like, we'd been dating at this point, like, consistently.
But 2 months of dates.
Yeah, I feel like that's enough.
Not even 2 months, a month and a half, if you really want to call it that. Still, weeks of dating, 6 weeks of dating,
This is
6 weeks of going on dates. I'm still going to stand my ground on some of this because I wasn't wrong in what I was doing.
Yeah.
But
I would still say yes to that.
there was
now.
some hesitancy on my end because I was like, I didn't really have a plan necessarily, and Jahni did have a plan, which was good because she said, hey, you have to make me your girlfriend or I'm not going to continue to do this with you.
Yeah.
Long story short. And we met at the Starbucks on Circum Loop, and it was like we just did not see eye to eye on this situation.
No.
She was like tears in her
still don't.
eyes, but she was like, I'm just not going to do this with you. And I was like, dang. And then I went back and I was talking to my roommate at the time, Casey Simmergren, shout out. And then I was like, bro, like, I don't know what to do. Like, because I was trying to stand my ground because I thought I was right. I thought like it was like that was it. This is like foreshadowing to marriage right here. I thought I was right. But just the whole situation, I was like, I mean, there's no red flags. And he was like, that's your girlfriend, bro. And I was like, you're right. And so,
Thank you, Casey.
yeah. But like, I was like, give me a week to think about it. I asked her to give me a week at the Starbucks, and then like 2 days later at church again in the parking lot, I was like, will you be my girlfriend? Like a fourth grader. But just was like, hey, like, let's make it official. Like,
Yeah.
we're eating Wendy's junior bacon cheeseburgers together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still do.
That would slap right now.
That would be so good
That
right
would
now.
really slap right now. But
Yeah, that's what happened at Starbucks if you were.
yeah, but just discernment. She discerned a lot in that moment about me and like kind of where I was at, and she kicked me into shape. She whipped me into shape right there, guys.
Yeah.
Never been the same after that. Nah, but no, marriage is such a journey, relationships, but like nothing can prepare you for the I do's.
Yeah.
Well, there are some things that can prepare you for sure,
Yeah.
but like premarital counseling, getting some people around you, talking
Definitely.
to some people, really getting to know each other, putting God first. Those things can prepare you, but nothing can really prepare you for the work
Yeah.
that has to be done, and it is
work.
work.
Yeah.
It's good work.
Yeah.
It's
And
good
it's
work.
like work that brings fruit. It's not like you're like just working for nothing.
No, it's fruitful work.
Yeah.
It's good work, but it's work, and we're still working. I mean, it's a full-time job over here. Like we were cleaning right before this. She wanted me to make a cappuccino. I did not want to make a cappuccino. I was doing everything I could not to make this cappuccino, and then I ended up making the cappuccino, and just pride dead right there. But yeah, man, it's just life is really interesting in the way that it reveals who you are, and it reveals new things about your character, and practicing the way,
Yeah.
right? Which you need to start reading this book. I know you've read like the first few pages, but it talks about spiritual formation, and it talks about how you're already being formed. Like, spiritual formation isn't something that you just start all of a sudden. Like, you're already being formed, regardless. So it's what are you being formed into? It's either being conformed or transformed. Like, that's the words of Paul, right?
Yeah.
So there's either conformity or a transformation, and so you're already being formed, and marriage is something that God uses, in my
Definitely.
opinion, to form you into who He has created you to be.
Yeah.
It's a tool. I mean, not everybody, right? Not saying that everybody has to be married, because some people they might not desire that for their lives, but like if you desire that for your life and you meet someone and it's the right person,
Yeah.
you will be formed. Like, it's going to be a great journey, and it's so much love and so much emotion, right? We get to experience all of that. Like, you get to become one with someone, and you get to start a family with someone, and you get to do all the things that married people do
Yeah.
with someone. And
Make baby.
but it's just one of those things that you cannot prepare yourself for, and you walk into it full of faith
Full of faith.
that God will provide and bring you through and give you strength and give you grace and mercy
And
along
he
the way.
does.
And He does. No,
Yeah.
100% He does. And
He didn't do it with Adam.
but you need the church as well. Like, you need the body of Christ around you in your marriage. That is so important. Family, the body of Christ, good community, and that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
It's a great season to be doing what we do.
It is.
Any last words, any last thoughts to the peeps out there, to the VCYA?
From my side.
Yeah. How about to the single ladies? All the single ladies. All the single
Yes,
ladies.
I'm not gonna sing.
She can't sing,
I
yes.
can't
Tone
sing.
deaf.
Yes.
Nico was singing Happy Birthday the other night. Absolutely tone deaf, guys. Absolutely. It's so bad.
so
I was
sorry.
like, golly, dude.
Single ladies. Man, just wherever you're at right now, just know that you're okay where you're at right now. You're
Amen.
fully
My voice, amen.
you're fully who you are right now, and I know that we talked about marriage and everything, and it is a great thing. It is a good thing, but I mean, the best thing that you can do for your future marriage right now in your singlehood is simply to be who you are fully, and to rely in Jesus and make Him, your first love, and have the relationship with Jesus that you need to right now. And I feel like you bringing that confidence and that relationship with Christ to a marriage, that will definitely be the best thing that you can do right now.
Yeah,
So that would be my advice
it's good.
for singlehood.
Yeah, I always tell people, I was single as a professional at the church, living on my own. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. I wasn't desperate or missing out or anything. Like,
Yeah.
it was great. So enjoy singleness.
Definitely.
What about to the engaged people?
Ooh, to the engaged
We
people.
got a few out there.
To the engaged people, be excited.
It's very exciting.
I know that, like, the busyness of planning a wedding and the busyness of, like, all of these expectations that maybe are there, which should be there, but just kind of put those aside and be excited a little bit. So, I know that you have to be busy as well, but be excited.
Yeah.
Be hopeful, and because really that first season of marriage can be really good
Yeah.
if you let it.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. Do you have advice for?
To the engaged?
Yeah.
Ooh. You said be excited?
Yeah, I think so.
Enjoy it.
That's it.
Yeah. It's a fun season. I mean, it is a fun, exciting season.
Oh,
It can
premarital counseling.
premarital counseling.
Yeah.
If you need premarital counseling, I have recommendations. But find somebody who has been married for a long time.
Yeah.
And ask questions.
For sure.
Find people who haven't been married that long and ask questions. But find them who have been married for decades and ask questions because they have a wealth
wisdom.
of knowledge. They've been on the journey They've been formed for a very long time. And so, but enjoy. Dude, it's an amazing celebratory season of your life.
It is.
And it comes and goes very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah.
Ours was very quick. 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months of engagement for us. But
enjoy
it. Huh?
Do enjoy it. Like, this is like your time.
Oh,
of,
dude.
like,
especially for the bride. Like, the groom is like, whatever. But the bride, it's like, if you're going to be a bride, and like, let people celebrate you.
Let
people help you. Let people, don't be a bridezilla. Like, do all of the things. But just enjoy it. Have the wedding of your dreams. Yeah. You don't have to spend a ton of money. And it's really just about gathering the people that you love.
For sure.
Right?
That's really
gathering the people that you love to celebrate you. Because a wedding, if you didn't know this, is equally for the people you have invited as it is for the people who are getting married.
Yeah.
It's for the families. It's for the close friends. It's for the people who are there to celebrate you. I mean, it is a party that you have planned. It's a ceremony that you have planned for people to enjoy. And people, like, you do all this planning and all this preparation for what? Not just for you to stand there. You don't get to experience half of what is there.
You probably won't eat the food as
good most people don't even eat the food. We ate the food.
we
but
did. We were like,
but I couldn't hardly remember it. I was kind of preoccupied.
I think it's just a pretty picture and a pretty, like, part of your life where you see all these people that you know and you love gathered in one room.
Yeah.
And you share those people, like, you know, people from your side, people from my side were there, and we got to celebrate.
It's a clash of worlds.
Yeah. But it's a good one. And I think that's, like, the most beautiful part of weddings. But anyways.
And then for the marrieds.
For the marrieds. Find other married friends.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that's my advice.
It's one of the hardest things to do. Once you're married, it's hard to have friends that are also in that phase of life, because it's very difficult to juggle your social life. I mean, you really don't have you don't have a social life like you do when you're single. That's also one other thing. Let's go back to that.
Okay.
Enjoy that. Enjoy your social life, bro. Like, this is a dynamic time of your life as a young adult,
where you can be
anywhere. Dude, we need to do I need to do a whole other podcast on, like, college life, bro.
You should.
I should, because
March.
Yes.
There you go.
That's a good move. Anyways, enjoy your social life, but as a married couple, find married couples.
Yeah, find other married couple friends, just because, like, you had your past friends, like, not past, I mean, they're our friends now, but you had your friends when you were single. I had my friends when I was single. And so some of them are single, some of them are married now, but you don't get to have that married to married kind of, like, oh yes, I relate to that, or oh yes, you relate to the husband, and so on.
You have people who are like you.
Yeah,
and
it's
nice. In any season of life, you have friends that are like you.
Yeah.
Dude, I just was listening to someone talk about this. It was they were talking about being intentional with friendships. Who was that? I don't remember. It was some podcast. Maybe it was somebody in Lakeland. I don't even remember who it was. But they were talking about being intentional with friendships, and I was like, as a married couple, and I was like, yes, you have to be intentional with your relationships. We have had to be very intentional with our relationships, because it's like, do we have so much to do? Outside of that, we could, I mean, and at the end of the day, your spouse will be your person.
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's your homie at the end of the day. I used to hate that. I used to hate when men would be like, my wife is my best friend. Calm down, buddy, right? But it's true.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, she's not like my bestie. Like, I have best friends, guys. I have homies. I have dogs out here, okay? Woof, woof. Like, we're not that cool. We're not that cool. But she's still like she's my bro.
Yeah.
She's my bro. Yeah. But seriously, she's my confidant, and I'm her confidant. Like, we are the most important people to each other, because we are one. Body,
Yeah.
mind, spirit, right? We're one in all of those ways.
Yeah.
And it's so important to be connected to each other, but also to have intentional space for an outlet to be like, oh, we actually have a social life though.
Yeah.
Even if it's only like once a month.
Yeah.
But I mean, being a part of church definitely helps.
For sure.
It gives you intentional social time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which-
But outside of church events,
Yeah.
do something in your house, at a park, at a restaurant. Do something.
Take some intentional time for that.
Intentional time for a community.
Yeah, that's been like our word lately, like intentionality.
Intentionality is so churchy.
It is, but it is.
It's stewardship.
Stewardship.
That's our word.
That is our word.
Stewardship.
Stewardship of your time.
Because in order to be a good steward, you have to be intentional.
Look at you. Preaching already.
You have to be intentional, guys, to be a good steward. Because you're not going to flippantly be a good steward
No.
of the things that God has placed in your hand. You're just not. It's not going to be an accident. I sound like Dave Ramsey. I've been listening to too much Dave Ramsey right now.
Also for married people, Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey, bro. He's controversial onto some, but to me, he does. Yeah, we can talk about. That's a whole other podcast, guys.
Whole nother one.
Whole nother
Wrap it up.
podcast. But anyways, I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah,
watch
we
a
could
movie.
continue, but I think we should.
We're gonna watch a movie.
watch
We're
a movie.
gonna. I should stop drinking cold brew. I've drank way too much cold brew today.
I had a cappuccino.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to our nighttime. Let's see, it is 10:13 p.m.
It's a little nighttime
on a
talk.
Friday night, February 21st. We're just talking about love. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about all things at the Cruz household.
Yeah.
But we're open book. So if you got any questions for us in the real world, ask us.
For sure.
Ask to hang out.
Yeah.
We'll hang out with you.
We'll maybe do a podcast with you.
Yeah, maybe. If I have the cameras, we'll set it up, dude. We'll talk about something. But anyways, we love you guys.
Love you.
Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time on the Chit-Chat.